Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of John Lee Hancock's The Founder. Now, just before I get into it, I just want to say this is my first video, so apologies, it's going to look kind of rough, and I don't have an animated intro yet. You could make one for me. Just saying. Anyway, The Founder is the story of the founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc. I'm already lying to you. Ray Kroc was not the founder of McDonald's whatsoever. But we'll do a little bit of history before I get into the plot of the movie. McDonald's was actually founded by a pair of brothers in San Bernardino, California. Their names were Dick and Mac McDonald. They came up with this walk-up restaurant in a time of drive-ins. Walk-up restaurant where people can just come up, get a quick burger, a quick drink. It's all in paper, so there's no dishware, there's no waiters and servers and all of that. It's quick, it's good, people love it, okay? So that's your backstory. So, let's get into the plot. We start off with Ray Kroc, who is played by my man, my Batman, Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton. So when the movie starts, Ray Kroc is a traveling salesman. He's selling these 5-spindle milkshake mixers. He's totally down on his luck. I hate that phrase, but I used it anyway. He's down on his luck. No one takes him seriously. He's not making any money. His wife, played by Laura Dern, they don't have a very good marriage. He's away a lot. She's pissed. With good reason. Anyway, one day he gets a request for a sale of 5 or 6 of his milkshake mixers, and he's so blown away that he calls the restaurant thinking it was probably a mistake. Finds out they actually now want 8. So he decides to travel all the way to California from, I believe he was in Missouri at the time, to meet the McDonald brothers and see what they're doing. He is so impressed with their restaurant. He thinks the food is great. The service is so fast. They have lines around the corner. And the one thing sort of blinking in his mind is franchise. I can get you guys to franchise. You can make millions of dollars. And then, of course, in the back of his head, he's thinking, I can also make millions and millions of dollars. The McDonald brothers, they don't really go for it right away because they want to be in charge of quality control. They're all about their own sort of ethics and moral code. They don't want to just make a lot of money. But, of course, Ray Kroc persists, and that's the synopsis. I'm not going to give you a lot of spoilers. I will give you one major spoiler, though. McDonald's ends up, really, really popular. I want to talk about performances because this movie is filled with excellent performances. The entire cast does a fantastic job. Loved them all. So let's start with Laura Dern. She plays Ethel Kroc. As I mentioned, she's Ray Kroc's wife. She doesn't get a lot to do in this movie, and I like Laura Dern, but unfortunately, she spends most of the movie just... You're never here. She's just mopey and detached, and I get it. That's the way she would be, but they never really dig into her character. They never really let her have a chance to really expand on that and make it interesting. I really wish the movie had gone a little bit more in depth into their relationship. It didn't. It's unfortunate, but Laura Dern does a really good job with what she's given to do. For me, 2 of the standouts in this movie are the McDonald brothers. So it's Nick Offerman as Dick McDonald and John Carrol Lynch as Mac McDonald. And these guys are hilarious together. They're so much fun to watch. Nick Offerman is pretty much playing Nick Offerman. Everything he says is kind of straight and deadpan, and, he's doing the Nick Offerman thing. But it works because John Carrol Lynch is almost a cartoon character. And their relationship as brothers really does kind of feel like a bit of a marriage. So while, Nick Offerman is very much the straight man and John Carrol Lynch is the comedic foil, it's funny every time Dick McDonald is on the phone with Ray Kroc. Mac McDonald is sitting there wringing his hands and what's he saying? I need to know. It's really, really funny. They are so much fun to watch. They play off each other so very well. But let's talk about him. Michael Keaton. I love that he's back, but let's get into that in a minute. Let's talk about Michael Keaton. I have always loved Michael Keaton since I saw Batman as a wee lad. I immediately went out and saw everything of his I could. Batman Returns, of course, Beetlejuice, Pacific Heights. I saw Multiplicity. I don't recommend doing that. After Batman Returns, though, he kind of disappeared, and I think a lot of that had to do with him walking away from Batman 3 when Tim Burton walked away from Batman 3. We all know how that went. Dumpster fire, excuse me. So he was kind of gone from Hollywood. He would get little roles here and there. I mean, he was in... he did a voice for, Herbie Fully Loaded, a Lindsay Lohan vehicle. That was a pun because it's a movie about a car. And then something happened. He started getting roles again. He was Ken in Toy Story 3. He was in The Other Guys. He was in the RoboCop remake, which was not a great movie, but it was all right. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but it was all right. And then Alejandro Inarritu comes along with Birdman. Now, Birdman was the perfect movie for Michael Keaton to come back in. Not only does he deliver a stellar performance in that flick, but it's the most meta thing I have ever seen. It's about an actor who has been out of Hollywood for a long time trying to get back into the spotlight. He was in the spotlight originally. He played a superhero called Birdman. Then he disappears for a long time, and now he's trying to come back and be legitimized. That's Michael Keaton. That's exactly Michael Keaton. That's exactly what's happening. Birdman legitimized him to Hollywood again. Then he got Spotlight. Now he got The Founder. I love that not only is he in movies again, but they're good movies. They're really good movies. I haven't seen Spotlight. I need to see Spotlight. I want to see Spotlight. But The Founder, Birdman, fantastic. I loved him. Now, I will say his performance in this movie, it's not going to get him an Oscar. Do I think he deserves a nomination? Yes. But it's not an Oscar performance, if you know what I mean. There's not a lot of crying and alcoholism or anything like that. He's frustrated. And then he's more frustrated. And then he's kind of happy. But it's good. It's really good. You buy him all the way through. One thing I love about Michael Keaton, he's got this really sort of twitchy energy. He's always had that. Going back to Batman and Beetlejuice. I got demons running all through me. All through me. I can't do Beetlejuice. I shouldn't have tried, and I apologize for what you just saw. His twitchy energy is really reflected in the pacing and the editing of this movie, particularly in the first two acts. It's really frenetic editing between scenes, and it complements his performance, his entire persona, very, very nicely. One problem I had with the pacing of this movie, it's got Return of the King syndrome, in that it ends, and then it ends again, and then it ends again. It just kind of keeps ending. You've seen Return of the King. Remember, there's this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Oh, and then this. And then it's over. I also want to bring up, this movie kind of felt a little bit like Breaking Bad to me. And if you know me, and if you're watching this video, considering it's my first video, you definitely know me. I love Breaking Bad. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. And this movie has a lot of Breaking Bad feel to it, in that we start on this character who's kind of a loser. We feel bad for him. He's got a crappy marriage, and he starts finding himself, and he sees this big thing that he can do, and it empowers him. We feel good for him, and we want him to succeed. And then he starts unraveling and doing horrible things, and then we're disgusted with him, and we hate him. But we still, part of us wants to see him succeed, because we've had his back for such a long time. And I really liked that about the movie, because anything Breaking Bad is good for me. So, the verdict on The Founder. It's not perfect. It was a fascinating vignette about a man that nobody really knows much about, unless you're an historian of McDonald's history, which you're probably not. But he's the guy behind one of the biggest, most iconic corporations on the planet. So just to see the rise of how it all went was a very interesting thing for me to see. And I really did enjoy the movie. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet. I'm working on it. Until then, what am I going to give The Founder? You know, it's a real Batman of a movie. So that's pretty much my review of The Founder. I hope you liked it. I know it was kind of rough. I'll get better at this, I promise. I don't promise, but I'll try. I'll try. But here's what I want to know. Have you seen The Founder? What did you think? Did it make you crave a Big Mac, or were you so just disgusted by the actions of this bastard Ray Kroc that you got drunk in your car and ate Arby's instead? That's what I want to know. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss. I need to know your thoughts.
For reasons.
Just kidding. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.